DC here. Hi guys. Well, it's been close to a week that I have not been making vids and not really on YouTube. Different reasons, very busy, of course, with the job searching and a few other things which I'll get to in a second. But first off, let me see, try to hide these. I got a big envelope from DearestBecky. So first off, let's see what's in this. I'm gonna get this open. I'm getting there. Aha! So, oops, could at least get it right. DearestBecky t-shirt. Well, that's cool because, you know, I already have one. And now, oh, just 2 seconds, that's my tea. There you are. So, I already have one, but now if I have, I mean, this is DC, if we do something, we can each wear one. Maybe we can do Norman's kits that way. Wow, thank you. Now there's a little message. I'll have to see if it's private. Oh wow. Hi Bernie, I have decided to give a t-shirt to all that participated in my contest a month ago. I hope all is well with you and your family. Take care, Becky. Wow. Thanks very much. That means that we are all winners. This is great. Thank you, Becky. Thank you so much. Now, I thought I'd talk to you about a few things that happened in my week. And, well, one thing I think I'll get to is that I was presiding, no, presiding is not the right word, co-presiding a funeral yesterday. A funeral? No, I am not a pastor or whatever, but the way it works out is that I live in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, and my pastor called me up the other day, one of the pastors, we got 5 at the church actually, and one of them called me up and said, could you really help me with what's for me a difficult problem? And I said, well, what is it? And he said, well, we've got a guy who was from a Scottish family that lived around here, and he's passed away. Problem is that all his family still live in Scotland, in the UK mostly, but I guess mostly in Scotland. And they're coming over, and nobody speaks English. I was a little bit surprised with that, but finally, because you know the Swiss tend to, most of the Swiss do tend to speak English as well, or quite well at least. But in this case, no, they didn't have anybody that could speak English. But I said, sure, come on over and I'll give you a hand. So he came over, but it finally ended up that, well, I prepared the prayers in English, prepared a lot of other things, the prayers and so on. And finally, I mean, we did share. I'm not saying that I did everything, but he did little bits in French, but because we had a mostly English audience, it ended up that I did do the lion's share. And when it came to the sermon itself, so the preaching part, which we tried to keep short, at least shorter than my vids, we decided on 2 times 5 minutes. So 5 minutes in French and 5 minutes in English. So I said, great. He says, you want me to translate your text or what do you want? And he said, well, no, I'd really like you to make your own text. Which I did. So, you know, I'm not going to read it to you. Albeit it would be probably very good if I read it to you. But I won't. Nevertheless, what I tried to do, because the thing is that you never quite know, I mean, who is in a funeral. And I wasn't out there to do hell and brimstone preaching. but to bring a message of hope and a message of love. And at the same time, to try and pass on the message how love is important, you know, covering the people that are in need. Because how many words can be shallow at the times of grief? And I think I tried to bring that message along, is that we can bring many formulas that could be shallow, but the main thing is to circle around the people that we love. I mean, I did say something in that respect. Being the reserved people that we often are, we forget to show our emotions. And one can debate endlessly if this is appropriate or not. What is certain is that the rumble that is going on inside, the rumble, you know, is really going on inside. And I can only encourage you to release your emotions, at least in an intimate circle, so as to liberate and prepare the space for a future indwelling of hope in life, present and future. And I quoted a few things from C.S. Lewis as well, because C.S. Lewis had a good feeling, excuse me, for grief. He said, for example, that no one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. And C.S. Lewis also said, it is hard to have patience with people who say, there is no death. Death doesn't matter. There is death, and whatever matters, whatever happens has consequences. But I did go on, I must say, to speak about the hope. When someone dies, we often think he's left. In my belief, we've gone from the land of the dying to the land of the living. And anyway, I said I wasn't going to preach the whole thing, so I won't. But that took a bit of my time, you know, getting ready for this funeral. And another thing, yeah, I just finished, I'm breaking a week of fast. I do that once a year. For both, I would say, cleansing and spiritual reasons. I like taking 1 week off of eating. Helps this, I would say, not only the question of the soul and spiritual, but, you know, that time when you're trying to think about food. I don't have that problem, actually. When I stop, and somehow I just start over again. But it's a good time. I mean, I actually enjoy those weeks. I don't exaggerate. I do 7 days. Yeah. What else? Well, for the moment, not all that much, except that Monday, if things go well, I might go to a town in Switzerland and hopefully, I say hopefully, make a vid that should be, or should recall memories to a relative of a good YouTuber friend. I won't say more, but I just hope that it'll work out, and then I'll bring it to you. What else? Well, you know, when you're away for a week, more or less means you're going to have a lot of catching up, which I will try and do as usual. It's my eternal motto. But the main thing is, I don't forget you guys. I remember you, love you all, and I will get to your vids and comment and so on. And that's about it for this unveiling, so to say. Unveiling of this beautiful t-shirt. Thank you very much, Becky, once again. Love you guys loads. DC signing off. Take care.